15 Things You Didn't Know About Elvis Presley. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel. Are you ready to get your inspiration from a pioneer? Today we'll be rockin' and rollin' a little bit as we talk about the one and only Elvis Presley. Born on January 18, 1935 in Tupelo, Mississippi, he was born the son of Vernon Presley, who had German origins, and of Gladys, whose family had French and Scottish-Irish roots. His identical twin was delivered 35 minutes before Elvis, a stillborn. Due to this tragic event, he became very close to both of his parents. Elvis did not come from a wealthy background. His family even relied on help from neighbors or government assistance, and he was really close to the Assembly of God Church. At some point, Vernon was jailed for 8 months, this incident pushing Gladys and Elvis to move in with relatives. Because of his strong faith in God and the frequent attendance of church, gospel music was an important influence to him. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. Presley's humble beginnings made it hard to anticipate the extent of his destiny's greatness, so maybe we should all get ready to be marveled by the 15 things you didn't know about Elvis Presley. Number 1. His interest in music showed up early. Presley was perceived as an average student, however he impressed one of his teachers with a rendition of Red Foley's country song Old Shep during morning prayers. The teacher encouraged him to enter a singing contest, which was his first public performance. He received further encouragement from his mother, who offered him a guitar for his 11th birthday. He then received guitar lessons from his uncles and got better at playing, leading him to have his first taste of musical success a few years later when he won a talent show at Humes High School. From there, he'd be unstoppable. Number 2. He was a white man with a, quote, Negro sound and Negro feel. And this is exactly what the record producer Sam Phillips was looking for in 1954, as he wanted to bring a broader audience to the sound of black musicians. It was him who arranged a recording session with Elvis, guitarist Scotty Moore, and bass player Bill Black, a session which was on the point of being a failure had it not been for Presley's sudden moment of improvisation of Arthur Crudup's That's All Right song. It was a moment of pure inspiration that Sam managed to record. 3 days later, DJ Dewey Phillips played That's All Right on his Red Hot and Blue show, and listeners started phoning in immediately, wishing to find out who this new voice was. Number 3. He kept on scoring after Heartbreak Hotel became his first number 1 hit. It was not long before Presley began charming fans, who were drawn to his unusual musical style, provocative gyrating hips, and damn good looks. In 1955, he signed with RCA Records, thanks to his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. He was on a roll as Heartbreak Hotel was topping the charts, and his album Elvis Presley was also number 1 in sales. He became a popular guest on a number of television shows, and even managed to sign a movie contract with Paramount Pictures in 1956. He was young, fresh, sexy, and unanimously desired. Number 4. He was drafted into the U.S. Army when he was already a rock star. In 1958, at the time of his draft, he was the most well-known name in the world of entertainment. He was drafted at Fort Chaffee near Fort Smith, Arkansas, and his arrival became a major media event. There were photographers and an audience and everything one could imagine. What gained his fellow soldiers respect, though, was his modesty in choosing to serve as a regular soldier, insisting on the idea he did not want to be treated differently. He even stated that the Army could do anything it wanted to him. At some point during his military training, he took a 2-week leave in order to record 5 songs in Nashville. Number 5. The King made really big money. If Presley being booked for $50,000 to appear 3 times in CBS's Ed Sullivan Show was considered to be an unprecedented investment, by the time of his death, his estate was valued at $4.9 million, equal to $19.6 million today. His current net worth is $350 million and keeps on being one of the best-earning dead celebrities, according to Forbes, that cited his 2015 earnings at $55 million. As for 2017, Elvis Presley ranked number 4 in the same top list, earning up to $35 million. He really is everlasting, huh? Number 6. He had personal obstacles. In August 1958, Elvis's mother was diagnosed with hepatitis, and her condition rapidly worsened, causing her to die of heart failure, which was absolutely devastating for him. Considering their close relationship, it was probably the greatest loss of his life. Another hard time for him was 10 years later, when after he and Priscilla got married, shortly after their daughter Lisa Marie was born, they started having problems in paradise. They became increasingly distant, barely cohabitating, and eventually their marriage fell apart, so the couple divorced in 1973. Priscilla received custody of Lisa Marie. Number 7. Elvis met with U.S. President Richard Nixon. On December 21, 1970, Presley engineered a meeting with Richard Nixon at the White House. He expressed his patriotism and suggested that he could play a part in combating the drug culture among hippies, as he was confident he could get them to pass along the message. He asked Nixon for a Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs badge to add to his collection of emblematic items. President Nixon found the encounter a bit awkward, but appreciated his initiative, saying that he was confident that Presley could really send a positive message for young people. But was Presley really credible, considering his struggles with drugs, which later contributed to his death? Number 8. He enjoyed going to private screenings of new films. Elvis had the habit of renting out Me Memphis's Memphian Theater, all of it, so that he could watch private screenings of new films with his entourage. He would later have the screenings at midnight, and one of the movies he watched several times was Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Other movies he watched that way included The Ten Commandments, Rebel Without a Cause, Dr. Strangelove, or even The Pink Panther. Also, rumor has it that his all-time favorite may have been Patton, starring George C. Scott, and that he knew a lot of the lines by heart. And when you think about the fast-paced life that Elvis lived, you kind of have to wonder, how did he even have the time? Number 9. He was the central figure in the development of a new music genre, rockabilly. Rockabilly is one of the early styles of rock and roll music that, according to historians, crystallized into a recognizable style in 1954 with Elvis Presley's first release on the Sun label. Its characteristics include a raw, emotive, and slurred vocal style, as well as the emphasis on the blues-like feeling and the rhythm guitar of country music. Blues and country music were the two major influences in Elvis Presley's style, therefore it seemed natural that it had become a trademark of his style. Maybe that's what they were talking about when they insisted on finding what you loved and letting it kill you. Number 10. His daughter, Lisa Marie, was the greatest love of Elvis's life. Growing in a family where he had a strong bond with his parents, Elvis was overwhelmed with joy when he found out that he was going to be a father. During Priscilla's pregnancy, he was a loving, concerned, and proud expectant father. When their marriage began to deteriorate, it adversely affected Elvis's every moment of his life. Yet this didn't stop him from spoiling Lisa Marie with gifts, attention, and later on, freedom. His daughter inherited his estate when she turned 25, and made sure she'd keep her father's legacy alive. Interesting fact, she was married to Michael Jackson, who he himself was a fan of Elvis. Speaking of Michael Jackson, don't you miss him? That's why we thought you might want to watch a video about him, revealing spicy details of his life. Click in the top right corner to check out our video, 15 Things You Didn't Know About Michael Jackson. Number 11. He was under FBI surveillance for being a, quote, sexual pervert who drove boys and girls mad. Could a rock star be a danger to U.S. security? Apparently, yes. According to the Federal Bureau, who kept files concerning the sexual drives of the American youth aroused beyond normality to Elvis Presley. Apparently, his onstage actions and motions were described as a striptease with clothes on. Also, his habit of riding a microphone was seen as masturbation, and even the fact he gave autographs on girls' abdomens and thighs was seen as a perpetrating factor. The files included psychologists' and priests' concerns that teenage girls could be easily aroused to sexual indulgence and perversions by the moves and attitudes exhibited at Presley's shows. Okay. Number 12. His Aloha from Hawaii show rocked the world via satellite. The show was Presley's manager's idea, who thought that since it was impossible for Elvis to play in every major city of the world, it would be nice to satellite broadcast his show from Hawaii, thus giving everyone the chance to see a Presley concert. The concert took place at the Honolulu International Center, and it was indeed broadcast live via satellite on January 14, 1973, airing in over 40 countries across Asia and Europe. The estimated number of viewers worldwide was between 1 and 1.5 billion. The show was the most expensive entertainment special at the time, costing $2.5 million. Number 13. He had a controversial circle of close friends, named the Memphis Mafia. Ever since the beginning of his career, Elvis was surrounded by friends, associates, and employees whose main functions were to accompany, protect, and serve him. He not only paid them salaries, but also spoiled them through gifts, cars, houses, and huge bonuses. They ended up giving the impression of being a parasite who fed off his success and using him almost as a bank. The only problem was, their presence and influence was so strong and unhealthy that by the time his drug addiction became so strong, it was destructive. No one but these fake friends could get to him, and their priority was not Elvis's well-being. Number 14. Even his death was controversial. On the evening of August 16, 1977, Elvis was found on his bathroom floor in an unresponsive state. Dr. Jerry Francisco announced that the cause of death was cardiac arrest, but there were allegations of a cover-up, taking into consideration that in 1977, Elvis had been prescribed 10,000 doses of sedatives, amphetamines, and narcotics. One of Presley's cousins, Billy Mann, accepted $18,000 to secretly autograph his corpse and the picture on the cover of National Enquirer's. Elvis's funeral was held at Graceland on Thursday, August 18th, where outside of the gates, a car plowed into a group of fans, killing 2 women and critically injuring a third. Number 15. The King's legacy lives on. With 18 #1 singles, countless gold and platinum albums, 31 movies in which he starred, and his contributions to several music genres, Elvis is a genuine American cultural force. In 1998, he was posthumously inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. 3 years later, he was posthumously inducted into the Gospel Music Association's Gospel Music Hall of Fame. According to Greil Marcus, Elvis emerged as a great artist, a great rocker, a great purveyor of schlock, a great heartthrob, a great bore, a great symbol of potency, a great ham, a great nice person, and yes, a great American. And that was it for today, my dear A-Luxers. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and share it if you liked what you saw. Now, we're curious, what's your favorite Elvis Presley movie? And, of course, since you've stuck with us until the end, how about that bonus fact? Elvis Presley couldn't stand the Beatles, in particular, John Lennon. Elvis could not stand John Lennon because of his anti-war feelings. Presley allied himself with the FBI director Edgar Hoover and encouraged him to have Lennon thrown out of the US. Elvis reportedly also got so annoyed with Lennon's remarks on a TV studio in England that he wanted to physically beat him up. On the other hand, Lennon practically worshipped Elvis as an artist and even tried to dress like him. In Lennon's own words, nothing really affected him until Elvis. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.